backside, and I'm second guessing myself to what the measurement is between this point and this point. So I think I've got it set up to what it's supposed to be. It may be even a little tight. I might have to let it out maybe half an inch. But basically the boat's coming up on the shape, and it's really getting sculptured. I can't wait to see this one in the water. This one's going to be an interesting boat. The next panel up is going to be a lot more vertical. You can see on this top panel now, it's starting to become vertical, and probably more so as I finish along. So I've got a couple of wires in, and now 3 wires. I'm going to finish this on out, and then put the bolts in, and then we'll come back. But you can see how it's coming together and getting a nice vertical side. Okay, the top panel came in just where I wanted it to, so I got a little bit of roundness there, but that'll come out when I get done doing a final shape on it. But I'm happy, very, very happy. Okay, I got the top 2 panels in. I had to do a little trimming on the nose job, cut back a little bit on the, about 5/8 on the top here to come down, because it was starting to come out on me, and I had to battle the second panel here to get it down and in, but that was because it was too long on the top. Yeah, I love looking at this bow and then coming down and seeing the curvature of that those 2 bottom panels. Okay, I got my printout for my transoms, and it was pretty much came in on the bottom. I pulled it in a little bit on this one. This one was fine, and this one I had to push out a little bit, so that's basically what the transom width's going to be. When I look at these boats, it always seems like they're way deeper than what they should be when I design my models. But usually when you get them in the water, everything changes, and it also changes once you get the interior in. It starts making it not look so voluminous. And then you can see the offsets of the 3 scarfs, so each one's protected by the one below it, and the rail on top will be the strength above. So I'll let this set for a few days, and maybe a week or so like this, just to take on its shape. And then I need to go get my rail material. I haven't done that yet. I usually like to put the rails on first to get them to set the shape of the hull, and then I'll go ahead and fill out the interior. What I've just put in is a cross brace to hold the beam at the 54 inches that I wanted. Right now it's just a hair over 54 inches, about 54 1/4, but usually I get a little bit of spring back effect when I take this out after I put the rails on. But it 1/4 of an inch one way or the other doesn't really matter. So I've got that in. That's going to hold my place down. I've got some bracing in the back to hold the transom in its place, and I've got my data sheet now to lay out the transom itself. But first I make a cardboard mock-up, and so let's go grovel on the floor on a piece of cardboard and then cut this baby out. And I usually do the cardboard first to make certain that it's going to fit. The other thing that I usually try to make certain, I say that word a lot, don't I, is that the angle of the transom is flat. It's real easy to, when you put the pieces in, to get an arc. If I get one, then I'll have to go and change some of the edges out. If it's fairly close to keep it flat, then I'll fill in any little gaps I've got with Gel Magic when I put it together, and then fill it with tape, and you won't know it's there anyway. Okay, you're going to be taking your cardboard and laying it out. You're going to find a straight edge. This cardboard had a nice straight edge, so I was able to put my raster square across the bottom and then draw up some vertical lines, one for the center line, one for the left and right, port and starboard edges of the boat, and then come back in. I'll be giving you offsets for lines, horizontal lines up at bend angles, and then 2 of them, and then the top angles. And then go ahead and there's offsets, off center line, where you draw a vertical line on both of these, and then come through and angle them out at those crosshatch points. They'll be close enough for what we're doing here.
make any adjustments on the cardboard before you put it out in the plywood. But I'm noticing that when I took a straight edge across the stern panel there, it wasn't quite what I thought it was. It was like when I said on the last one that the bow was off a little bit at the top edge. When I looked back at the model really closely, I could see it was on the model, but because it's so small and I was using other glasses then, I couldn't see it. So that was an adjustment. But I've got the bottom part, this section right in the very bottom part of the V, it's the top two panels make a straight line across the edge, but the bottom one's tucked in. And I'm thinking, instead of, on the prototype, I don't want to go back in and start changing everything around, because it's going to be too variable unless I build another one again. So I'm going to make this one, this bottom panel is, bottom triangle is separate from the two top ones. So it'll come down and then bend in again. I think what I'm going to do is when I put the skeg in, I'm going to come up on the back side of that and kind of make it more wine glassy than what it is already. So we'll go with that. It's a designer's prerogative, and it makes it easier because you'll be able to use narrower pieces. Now you put a slice in the cardboard to bend it down to put it in place, and I've been looking at it about a dozen different angles. And I think with putting in a part of the skeg to come up that bottom panel, I think it's going to look pretty trick, and it's going to help not necessarily mounting the rudder, but it'll flow into the rudder better that way. So I'm going to go with the two pieces with the angled transom on the bottom, with the angles coming in here, and then the slight angle here on this panel. Kind of gives it a visual effect I like. So you'll either hate it or won't, but it'll make it a lot easier to make. Having two panels is trying to get out to the one, and I'll be able to fit it better. So I'm going to go with two panels on this boat. So we'll see what happens when we get done. If you don't like that and you want a solid panel, if you get the plans, then I would say go ahead and mount it in the bottom and then on the top, and let your one-piece transom fit in, glass it in place, and then when you flip it over to do the outside, then you can make any adjustments to the edges that stick out and fix them then. So onward and upward, I'm going to go with two panels. Okay, I've got my two-piece stern in, and I think I like it better than the one-piece. So I'm not going to change the plan. So this is going to be the final one. Okay, there's a stern shot of it. And then let's slide around to the side. You can see just a little bit of angle there. Okay, there's from the back end, but I'll have to, I'm going to drop down freehand, give you an idea what it's going to look like down below with the panels coming in from the stern. There it is coming in from the back end, and then we come up into that flat spot, and then I'm going to put a nice piece of wood in here that'll turn into the skeg on the bottom here. So I'm happy.